can purchase store-bought basil or store-bought pesto, but we happen to have basil that we grow here at our house in a pot outside. By the way, I'd recommend doing that. It's not too difficult to do, just potting soil, and it's amazing the harvest that you get from it. So we've got roughly, I don't know, 2 or 3 cups of basil here that we've washed and basically trimmed off the leaves. You don't want to use the stems. We've got a couple cloves of garlic, fresh garlic in this case. You can also, in my opinion, use the stuff that you buy at the store that comes in the water that's already chopped, but we're out of that and we got some fresh, so that's what we're doing. And we're going to use some pine nuts. Pine nuts, it's funny, sometimes they're inexpensive, sometimes they are expensive. I've seen them both. But that's kind of a traditional component of authentic pesto. And then the balance is really just olive oil, and you want to put enough olive oil in to, when you puree it, just make it a nice, what's the word, viscous, Liz? What's the word I'm looking for?
Kind of paste almost.
Almost a paste, yeah. And salt. You never want to overdo the salt or the oil to begin with, because you can add to it, but you can never take it out. So traditional, just salt and pepper. And then some of this stuff will actually freeze for the summer, or I'm sorry, for the winter, which is really nice. It's kind of a taste of summer in the winter. So anyway, this, you can use just a normal home blender if you'd like. This is a Ninja. No paid endorsement here. So you're already seeing how quick that works. And boy, you can really smell it. And put a little more oil in. And then sometimes you also finish it off with a Parmesan or Romano cheese. But when we do this to freeze it, we don't do that. And of course, on salmon, that wouldn't work out real well either.
No.
Oh.
I was chopping to the lid.
Alright, so you keep playing with it. We'll show you the consistency here when we've got it the way we want it.
Okay.
Alright, so we've got our salmon that I've already kind of cut into fillets, and it's a little less than 2 pounds total. This is the way the pesto looks, and it's not as pasty as we normally do it, because we're kind of creating it more like a rub. We're using it more like a rub than a traditional pesto. So what we're going to do is just put a little bit, oops, on each of these pieces of salmon. And this is skinless. I normally do skin. I like skin, but it just kind of holds everything together better. But we've got skinless, so we'll make it work. So we're just going to rub it in. We're going to let it sit for maybe 5 or 10 minutes to let that garlic and oil get into the meat itself. Then we're going to smoke it for just a little bit, not a long time, just to get some of that wood flavor into it, and then finish it off directly over the coals to kind of give it that texture that we want. So we're going to flip them over and pesto them up on the other side too, so we'll be right back. Alright, as you guys know, this is my sneaky way of getting some smoke flavor using indirect. Put a hickory log here. Oops, put the coals down. Ouch, as I burn my arm hairs. And we're going to let this kind of char up the wood. And then we're going to clean up the grates. I'll be right back with you. Okie dokie, Smokey. Since these are salmon fillets without the skin, I'm going to be really conscious of things sticking. So, taking some olive oil and put it on paper towel. I'm going to wipe down this area. And then when it's time to do them over the charcoal, I'll do that too. These fillets on. Again, we're not going to leave them on real long. On the indirect side. This will just give it a little bit of infusion of that nice smoky flavor. Vents open, the holes on the top of the lid over the fish side. I'm going to give that about 5 to 7 minutes. I can smell the salmon, so that tells me time to finish it off. So this is that olive oil with a paper towel. When you're doing fish, it's really important to use proper equipment. This is a very thin, almost razor sharp spatula. So what we're going to do is move this over. Kind of see how it's already flaking. Kind of piece by piece. Kind of give it just a little bit of char. And we'll be ready to eat. We're going to do it a couple of pieces at a time. Alright, I've changed the angle. It's been about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. So now we're going to flip them. And again, it's really important that you have good equipment, particularly with the spatula here, so things don't fall apart on you. So now that it's flaming up a little bit, we're just going to put the lid on. The key is to not freak out. I'll be right back. Alright, I just took the lid off, and this first batch of salmon is done. So we're going to take this off and do the couple of pieces that we have left. And we're going to plate it and give you a little beauty shot. Oop! See, that's why I like the skin. It'll still taste delicious. The skin kind of holds it together.